All right, so today we're going to dive into something that I think is really interesting. We're talking kid-run businesses. And, you sent over this guide. And it's funny, honestly, I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is like someone took the essence of entrepreneurship and bottled it up in this kid-friendly way.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, right? It's so interesting how they've taken these kind of classic, service-based businesses and tailored them for a younger audience.
Totally. And they don't shy away from the good stuff either. They jump right into earning potential, which honestly surprised me. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned lawn care can be lucrative.
Right.
Some kids are making a couple grand over the summer. And then snow shoveling. Don't even get me started on those winter wonderland profits.
Well, right. And what's smart about it is it's tapping into these seasonal needs. So it's high demand in a short window of time. And one thing I thought this guy did really well was it emphasized building those repeat customers, creating those relationships that keep clients coming back year after year. And that's a lesson that any entrepreneur can appreciate. Building that trust translates to recurring income.
Totally. And it's not even just about, obviously you got to do a good job. That's important. But it's about getting those testimonials, right? Those online reviews, that social proof, even for kid businesses these days.
Yeah.
That online reputation can make a big difference. But, not every kid wants to be out there, braving the elements for their side hustle. And that's where this guy, I thought, got really clever.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was really drawn to how it encourages kids to kind of look around their own neighborhoods, find those hyper-local needs. Forget building apps. These kids are solving problems right on their block.
Right. Pet sitting, window washing, good old-fashioned house cleaning. Talk about a low barrier to entry.
And it's just brilliant how it teaches them to be resourceful, to see opportunity in the everyday. Such a fantastic way to nurture an entrepreneurial mindset.
Totally. And it's like old school hustle meets modern strategy.
Right.
They're putting up flyers. They're spreading the word to their neighbors, maybe even using a little social media. So this guide is truly a goldmine, I think, for young entrepreneurs. But one of the things that really impressed me was how much it emphasized those valuable life skills that kids can pick up along the way.
Oh, absolutely. It's about so much more than just earning money, right? It's about building a foundation for success that extends far beyond their neighborhood side hustle.
And that's where I think this guide really shines.
Yeah, I agree. It subtly weaves in these incredible lessons about communication, about time management, responsibility, even financial literacy. These are skills that are transferable to any career path they choose later in life.
Right. It's like they're getting a mini MBA before they even finish school. But, it all starts with that spark, that desire to try something new, to build something of their own.
Exactly. And this guide does such a great job of showing kids that entrepreneurship isn't about age. It's about recognizing a need and finding a creative and resourceful way to fill it. And who knows, maybe those skills that they're honing now will lead to something even bigger down the road.
I love that. So instead of just telling kids about entrepreneurship, it gives them the tools and the inspiration to go out there and actually experience it firsthand. But, one of the things I found really fascinating was how this guide dives into some of the specific challenges that kids might face and how to overcome them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It talks about things like setting boundaries with clients, managing their time effectively, even dealing with difficult situations. It's like a crash course in real world problem solving.
Totally. And that's where those soft skills come into play.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not just about, walking a dog or mowing a lawn or whatever it is. It's about communicating effectively with clients, understanding their needs, maybe even negotiating rates or handling a last-minute schedule change.
And let's not forget about the importance of building those client relationships. The guide even talks about the power of, a simple thank you note or a follow-up call to check in on a client. These small gestures can go a long way in building trust and loyalty.
Totally. It's about building a brand, even if it's just a kid with a lawnmower. And speaking of lawn mowing, let's circle back to those higher earning opportunities for a moment. The guide also mentioned car washing and detailing as potentially lucrative options.
Oh, absolutely. Especially as we head into, those warmer months, a car wash can be a hot commodity. And the guide even suggests some upselling opportunities, like offering interior cleaning or learning some basic detailing techniques.
Well, that's a great point. So not only are they learning how to run a business, and they're also developing their sales and marketing skills. Yeah. It's like a real life lemonade stand.
Yeah.
But with the potential to earn a lot more than just pocket change. Speaking of lemonade stands, though, that reminds me of a story from the guide that really stuck with me. So this kid in the guide, he took that whole leverage your environment thing to a whole new level. He lived near this park where they always had dog training classes going on.
Yeah.
And
I see where this is going. He capitalized on a captive audience. Smart kid.
But here's the thing. He didn't just set up a generic dog treat stand. He partnered with his grandma. I love this part. And they baked homemade, all natural dog treats. They even catered to special diets, marketed them as training treats, gave free samples to the trainers.
Yeah.
Genius.
That's not just smart. That's adorable. And it plays right into that whole trend of, healthy, natural pet products. He identified a niche market, offered a high quality product. Those dogs were probably lining up.
Oh, they were. Word spread. And pretty soon he was supplying treats to half the neighborhood. Proof that, even the simplest idea with a little ingenuity and hustle can really take off.
Yeah, it speaks to the power of understanding your market. Even if it's just your neighborhood, it sounds like this kid really understood the value proposition of those healthy homemade treats.
Totally. It's interesting how this guide balances these kind of higher earning gigs with some that might not bring in as much cash, but offer different kinds of learning experiences, like the section on recycling collection.
Oh, yeah, I loved that part. It might not sound glamorous, but it teaches kids about sustainability and responsibility towards the environment. which is so important these days.
Right. And let's be honest, in a world that's struggling with waste, that's a service that people are willing to pay for.
Oh, totally. And think about the potential. A kid could start by collecting recycling in their apartment building or partner with local businesses. There's even an opportunity to educate people about what can and can't be recycled. Talk about making a real difference.
It's really amazing how these seemingly simple tasks can spark that entrepreneurial spirit. And it still values at the same time. I mean, we've talked about, earning potential and practical skills. But this guide really goes beyond that. It's about teaching kids to see themselves as problem solvers, as valuable members of their communities.
Absolutely. And it empowers them to take action, to see a need and think, hey, maybe I can do something about that. It's about fostering that can-do attitude. And, that's something that will serve them well in any aspect of their lives.
For sure. This guide isn't just about teaching kids how to make money. It's about teaching them how to make a difference.
Precisely. And to your point about the guide addressing challenges, I thought the section on handling finances was really well done. It doesn't shy away from the importance of financial literacy.
Totally. They're learning about setting prices, tracking their earnings, even managing expenses. It's not just about the excitement of making money. It's about understanding what to do with it once they have it.
Exactly. And it highlights the value of saving and planning for the future, which is a lesson that a lot of adults could probably use a refresher on too.
So true. But it's not all about the nuts and bolts of business either. This guide really emphasizes those soft skills, like communication and negotiation, which are crucial in any field, really.
It's like they're getting a crash course in interpersonal skills without even realizing it. They're learning how to talk to clients, how to handle disagreements, even how to deal with rejection. All valuable life lessons.
Right. And let's not forget about time management. Imagine a kid juggling schoolwork with a dog walking business or something. Talk about a masterclass in prioritization.
And responsibility. These kids are learning to show up on time, to meet deadlines, to honor their commitments. These are the building blocks of a strong work ethic, regardless of what they choose to do later in life.
Yeah, it's not just about the money that they're making now. It's about the skills and the work ethic that they're developing for the future. And you never know, maybe these side hustles will even spark a passion that turns into a lifelong career. I mean, the guide even touches on how to potentially scale up some of these businesses.
Oh, absolutely. It encourages kids to think big, to dream bigger than just their immediate neighborhood. It even touches on the basics of marketing and branding, which is fantastic.
I like planting those seeds of possibility.
Yeah.
Showing them that their ideas have value and that they have the power to turn those ideas into something real. But it all starts with that first step.
Yeah.
That willingness to try, to put themselves out there.
Yeah, and that can be intimidating, even for adults. But this guide does a great job of breaking things down into manageable steps, making entrepreneurship feel accessible and exciting.
I love how you put that, accessible and exciting, because that's really what it's all about, right? Giving kids the tools and the confidence to chase their dreams, even if those dreams start with a lawnmower or a dog leash.
Totally. This guide is a great reminder that entrepreneurship isn't about fancy degrees or big investments. It's about having a good idea, a willingness to work hard,
right,
and the courage to put yourself out there.
Couldn't agree more. It's about seeing those everyday opportunities and thinking, why not me? And that's a powerful message, I think, for kids of all ages.
Oh, absolutely. It's a message we could all benefit from. But, speaking of those why not me moments, I was particularly struck by the section on garage cleaning and organization.
Oh, yeah. Of all the clever ideas in this guide, that section really stood out to me.
It is interesting, right? It might sound like just another chore. But think about the skills involved. You're talking decluttering, spatial reasoning, figuring out the most efficient way to organize things. Those are valuable skills in any context.
Totally. And think about that sense of satisfaction these kids are going to feel after transforming a chaotic mess into this functional space.
Yeah.
Talk about a confidence booster.
And those organizational skills are in high demand these days. People are busier than ever. And the idea of hiring someone, even a kid, to help them get organized, it's pretty appealing.
Totally. You're not just cleaning a garage, you're creating order out of chaos.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the environmental aspect of it too. A lot of that stuff that's in the garage, it might be destined for the landfill. But a savvy kid could help sort through it, identify items to donate or even recycle. It's just another way to tie in that sustainability element.
Oh, that's such a good point. It's amazing how this guide brings together so many different things. Entrepreneurship, life skills, even environmental responsibility. It's not just about teaching kids how to make money. It's about teaching them how to be resourceful and responsible and engaged members of their community.
Right, exactly. And it's about fostering that belief that they can make a difference, no matter how small.
I got to say, after diving deep into this guide with you, I feel like I've learned a thing or two myself. It's a good reminder that entrepreneurship isn't just about, starting the next big tech company or whatever. It's about seeing those everyday needs and finding creative ways to meet them. And you never know, maybe some of these kids, armed with these skills and this mindset, will go on to tackle some of the bigger challenges facing our world.
Wouldn't that be something? A generation of young people empowered to not only see the problems, but to create solutions. That's a future I would love to be a part of.
Me too. And it starts with giving kids the tools and the inspiration, which is exactly what I think this guide does so brilliantly. So to anyone listening, if you're looking for a way to spark that entrepreneurial spirit in your kids, this guide is a fantastic place to start. It's full of practical advice and inspiring stories, and a whole lot of encouragement to get out there and give it a try.
It's a fantastic resource. It reminds us that sometimes the simplest ideas can be the most powerful, and that even kids can make a real difference in their communities.
Well said. And on that inspiring note, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive. But before we go, we wanted to leave you with a little something to ponder. We've talked a lot about individual side hustles today. But what if we took it a step further? and encourage kids to think about building something bigger, something more sustainable. Like imagine a group of kids creating a neighborhood car wash co-op, complete with a marketing plan, a customer loyalty program, even a profit-sharing model. Or what about like a kid-run landscaping company that prioritizes eco-friendly practices and donates a portion of its profits to environmental causes? The possibilities really are endless when we empower kids to think big, to collaborate, and to combine that entrepreneurial spirit with a passion for making a difference. So there you have it, a final thought to spark your imagination and hopefully inspire the next generation of changemakers.